Welcome, everybody. It's so great to see you guys. I hope you guys had an amazing week. Can you guys hear me nice and clear? You guys hear me okay? Yeah? Okay, good. Excellent. All right. Good. So we have a pretty intense week this week energetically. I don't know how you guys have been feeling it, but it's been pretty interesting. Lots of interesting things happening in the world around us this week. And so I would really love to hold space for that, especially so many people in the world that are going through a difficult time right now in Turkey and Ukraine. And I would really love to hold space for them today in our healing work. So we're going to do some energy work for the physical body, but also we're going to begin to really work and learn how to run energy for the earth and cultivate that healing energy for the earth. So we will do that as well. And before I get started, let me just come over to the chat here. I really would love to ask you, how is your week going? What do you need? What have you been working on? Where have your blockages been? How can I be of service to you? Let's go ahead and see in the chat. Hi, guys. Hi, Darina. Hi, Kira. Hi, Angie, Grace. So great to see you guys. Anybody have some questions that they want to ask? Go ahead and unmute yourself and jump right in.
Hi, I've been feeling emotional, but also I've had a lot of, I've had pain for a couple of days around my sacral chakra area, between my lower back and the front. I've been doing energy work every day. I've managed to heal everything except that.
Okay.
And it feels like either I've got holes or blockages. I find that when I'm feeling a certain emotion, it hurts even more.
Okay. Would you be able to share with us what the emotion is that you feel?
I feel stuck, like as if when I'm worried that I'm not able to be myself, and that I have to like keep quiet, and I cannot be my true authentic self. And I feel like as if I've been stifled or almost like a prisoner. It's a self-imposing a type of prisoner to keep the peace. But in the meantime, I am stopping myself from being me.
Okay, got it. So let's take a look at that. So that's a really powerful observation. And it's one that a lot of people are feeling this week. Actually, it's been coming up a lot in my sessions that people really feel like they're, kind of stagnant in their genuine expression. And really what's the desire is to really come into that softness, to that divine feminine, but the masculine is wanting to protect or preserve, those parts of us. So essentially, we want to try to nurture the self so that we can feel safe in those emotions. Okay. And we want to work with why we are having this disconnect. So when I see your multidimensional body, there's a disconnect. There isn't a full integration into the root. Okay, so how are we not feeling safe in our environment, in our physical body with our expression? Where are we feeling triggered there? So that's what we want to look at. And we want to open those runways, the back of the body, up the spine, up into the third chakra right there. There's like a little thread, it's like a pinchy thread that goes all the way from that throat, all the way down to the root of the spine. And then it goes into the nervous system underneath the thighs and the sitting bones. So this is where I would kind of focus on, because this is where we have an accumulation of stagnant emotion and energy. The idea is that in whatever circumstance we have, we are able to hold our space, hold our observation in neutrality. The key is to come into neutrality. So whatever is occurring external to us, be mindful that we train ourselves. So emotions are tools. I want to remind you guys that emotions are just tools for information. Okay. Once you receive the information that you need from the experience, You don't need to hold on to that emotion and keep replaying it over and over again. Okay, that's really important. A lot of us, we feel the emotion and it's so strong, so big that we want to keep replaying it. So we have to be really, really mindful, and we have to be compassionate of this body to understand the power of emotions. Because every time that we feel an emotion, we're creating a chemical response in the body. And depending on what kind of emotion it is, if it's high, if it's low, there's going to be side effects. Okay. If it's a low emotion, if it's fear, if it's anxiety. And for some of us, we don't really know what emotion it is because we don't know our emotions that well. We don't know ourselves yet. So we feel these emotions that are layered with other sub layers. The one that we need to address is the root emotion. Okay. So let's say at the beginning on the outside, we feel discomfort, we feel like we don't know how to handle a situation. At the root of that, when you go down the layers, you find maybe a fear or an insecurity or something like that. So that's the one that we need to address. Okay. And what we're going to do with that root emotion is to sit with it fully, to get all the information, everything it wants to say. And you're going to write it down in a list. And from there, you're going to use that information to make an action plan as to what your organism needs in this moment in order to regulate itself back into neutrality. That's the thing. It's also going to give you information on how to interact in that situation in that moment. It's going to help you understand, whether you need to apply something, whether you need to do something in that experience, or where you need to hold your space and just observe. Really important. This level of awareness and observation is like mastery of being a human, essentially. We're no longer in a reactionary state. We're no longer in having to impose our beliefs on others or things or circumstances or need to change them, but we sit as an observer. Witness is another way people say it, witnessing these experiences, and then mindfully co-creating with that experience because it's there for a reason. So the sooner we access the information for why we're there, having that experience, the quicker we'll be able to transcend it, shift our vibrational frequency, and be able to begin to move forward in what we're doing. Remember that everything is an opportunity for activating your DNA, your multidimensional field. So when we are contracted with an emotion, we're going to maintain and attract patterns of behaviors with that same frequency. Okay. When we begin to shift and override those patterns in the moment that they're happening, it really allows you to begin to expand and your light body. This is important. We have to expand the light body, anchor more source through the body, which when you anchor source through the body and you enter into that 0 point, you will not be in pain, because pain won't be able, pain is information not being attended to. Okay, so anytime we feel pain in the body, it's saying, hey, I need attention. I have something to say that we're not really paying attention. So that's really the thing, my love. Anytime we feel, so we're going to work on this topic today. So you're at the right place, right time. The emotion of feeling overwhelmed, not knowing how to interact with something, feeling stuck, feeling stagnation. It's because we've created an illusion of the event that the things that are happening around us. We've created expectations. We've created scenarios that are not true, that we expect to occur, but because they're not happening, then there's a disconnect. So what we need to do is we need to let go completely, surrender to what is happening, accept completely, and then wisely apply what we need to do in that moment in order to learn and to transcend it. It's all about vibrational frequency. Your entire multidimensional body is directing your experience. And so it's important to be aware of that. Okay. Great question. Let's see. Anybody else have any other questions they want to ask? Oh, Deidre, hello. This is my first time. I found you through a friend and I'm so loving what I've been learning. I've been watching the 30-day challenge. Awesome, Deidre. Welcome. So great to have you. Welcome to the family. Cedric, great to see you here. How are you?
I'm doing great, Geraldine. It's great to see you as well.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
all right. And the question that I have, and I believe that it might be along the same lines as what Mari had mentioned. I'm dealing with a lot of fear, doubt, things of that nature. For example, if it's a piece of cake there, I know I shouldn't eat it, but hey, that sweet tooth kicks in and I go for it. And the reason why I'm using that as an example is that's my senses. I'm able to see, smell the cake, and I can already taste it. It's halfway gone before I could take the first bite. So what I'm saying is the senses take in that information and it sets with the soul. And then my spirit know that it's wrong. And I believe that, and if I'm not mistaken, and the question is that where that conflict happens? It's that conflict between the spirit and the soul, even though I know it's wrong. I shouldn't eat it because I'm put on these pounds or whatever the case may be. And is it also connected to my emotions? So that's my question.
Yeah, excellent question.
Thank you.
Awesome example. It's one that I'm sure a lot of us can relate to. But the question is here, my love, is there's a lot of also programs behind this, okay? Several layers that I want you to take a look at. First of all, what's happening that we're desiring that sweetness, okay? This is something that we need to be aware of because our organism, it's very intelligent, okay? This is incredibly self-organized intelligence that creates all of the mechanisms of our human expression. When we desire something like sugar, the addiction is very real, but there's also a sub-layer to that, an emotional layer to that is very present. And what I find a lot with people that are addicted to sweets is that there is an aspect of need that is not being met on some level, so somatically, okay? So there is not enough sweetness in the life. There is not affection, support, love, connection, community, kindness, unconditional love. There is an element of that nourishment, fulfillment, profound fulfillment, and the balancing of the lower dantian isn't quite there. Because what happens is that we desire the sweetness to create this rush, this endorphin rush that happens when we eat that. Remember, it's a chemical response first. So this is what we want to kind of have that conversation. And I know, Cedric, that you're super advanced. You do a lot of work and you're really proactive in your awareness. So this is why I would take this question a little bit deeper than just, oh, well, don't just eat the sweet. And then the other side of that question, the other side of this scenario is, why is the sweet bad? Why do we have the program that it's bad? Because in reality, we think about putting on weight or something like this, but what I've discovered in my journey is that when you come into alignment with your highest expression, the emotions go into such a neutral balance that whatever you desire is kind of, your body needs it. Your body needs it, and it's okay. And even if you eat something like a piece of cake or something, you enjoy it. You completely enjoy that moment eating it, and you're completely present with what you're eating, what you're doing, and you create a complete nourishment experience with it. The problem in our world is that we have no attention to what we're doing, and sweets then become a mechanical response or an escape to something else. So if we were to eat that cake really presently, some of you might realize midway eating it, you don't even really want it, okay? And some of you might really enjoy that cake, but it won't have the same effect. And I'm telling you this because when we are in a state of love, we work symbiotically with all the things around us. Okay, this is a true law of the universe and how we exist. So even when we eat something that, for example, like a cake, it could be perceived as something that's bad for you. Our body will take everything that it needs, all the vitamins that are possibly available in that cake, and then just release whatever we don't need. But I do want you to take a look at the core emotion, the core fear that is there. The fear of our own desires. Okay. What is it that we desire that is not being met on some level, spiritually, emotionally, physically? And this is what I would sit with. I would sit with the craving for the cake, and I would look at the emotions that are into it. This is just a really fun way to understand yourself better. Okay. And so, and people, we can use the same example for anything in our lives. It can be smoking, it can be, whatever habits that we're trying to break, to just have a really nice conversation with that and with our bodies energetically. Okay. So yeah, I hope that answers it, but we will address the fear in the meditation a little deeper with the emotions. Okay. Grace says, Angie says, leaving the past behind, living in the now, I go in and sit in the emotion and pain. Right. So just as we were talking about, we get deeply attracted and addicted to the emotion. Okay. So this is the same thing, just like the cake, we're addicted to cake, the sweetness, the high that it gives us, the sugar rush. We also become addicted to our negative emotions. And this is one of the most difficult addictions to break, because it goes deeper. It's not just the emotion, like, for example, being in a funk all the time, because you have to understand our entire lives are usually designed and built to create comfort for that funk. Okay. So for example, we buy all kinds of things in our house. We decorate our house, we fill it up with all pretty things sometimes, or just a lot of stuff. And that we bought those things in states in order to escape from that strong emotion that we were feeling. Okay, so that's an example. So our funk can be attached to many things around us that help preserve that emotion and to keep it in state. So in order to break these patterns, we have to really move out of our comfort zone in more than one ways, in our eating habits, in the things that we're doing in our lives, in our sleeping patterns, in the way that we are interacting with ourselves, our internal dialogue. We have to be super aware and mindful of every single action that we're doing in order to catch the why behind that. That's how your level of awareness has to be. We got to be very aware of what we're doing. Otherwise, we're just cycling through the DNA that is being given to us. And in our DNA is all kinds of ancestral trauma, right? And we have created entire personalities from the womb until the age of 7 in order to preserve and to protect the parts of us that are the unknown to us. But we keep repeating things that we've been taught, how to handle, how to navigate those difficult emotions and scenarios. So let's help ourselves this week. And one of the biggest tools I want to give you is, what would it feel like right now if you would bring your body into a complete state of neutrality? What would happen if you allowed all emotions to just leave? Okay, I want you to just observe that for 1 minute really quick with me right now. Bring your body. Notice, even right now when you're listening, parts of your body are more tense than others. Sometimes the tummy is tense. It's listening carefully. And a lot of us want to control how we feel. We want to kind of judge what we're listening to, see if we like it, if we don't like it. All of that is emotional responses that our subconscious mind has been programmed to react. So we want to be aware, and we want to just check in with ourselves. Are we fully in the present moment? Are you in your body right now? Are you grounded? Are you aware of your multidimensional self? Is the back of your body completely unaware and dormant? Let's come back into the body. And as you come fully into the body, become aware of the emotions that you're feeling. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Delina says, I've been having bad dreams and waking up at 5 p.m. in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning, feeling terrible and tired. I put protection around myself, my space before bed, but seems to still happen. Is there something else I can do? Yeah, so let's go ahead and focus on the core underlying issue. There are some things that we're not being able to clear our mind with that are there, that are not allowing us to go into a deep sleep. There's 2 reasons here. There's also tears in the auric field. Okay, this is really important. When we have a lot of holes in our multidimensional body, we have a lot of drainage of our pure life force. Okay, we become drained. And that drainage, leakage of life force energy is going through some channel, which what we call cords, energetic cords, right? So those cords connect us to people, places, and things that we're exchanging energy with. Unfortunately, because most of us are in a hypnosis and unaware of our body, that exchange is unconscious. Okay, so imagine if you look at your poor body in your multidimensional mirror and filter, what you're going to see is this body with a ton of cords sticking out all over the place with all kinds of information and energy running in and out. Okay, so what do we need? So of course you're not going to have energy, number one. This is also a tool with people that have attention deficit disorder. So for example, me, I grew up with ADHD. Very difficult for me to focus on one thing, to get it done. But when I started to work in meditation really, really helped me with that because it allowed me to focus my attention. But when you see a person with ADHD or with some kind of disorder where they're not utilizing their energy, people with these kinds of disorders are people that actually have a super hyper productive mind. And this means more of their mind is functioning at the same time. Okay, that's a really powerful tool. If you were to use this tool intuitively, you have a really, really high ability to tune into information. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to fine tune that tool so that we can begin to observe things, get the information we need in order to be productive and keep going without triggering emotional trauma in the body. That's the key. Okay, so cords are going to be draining everything that you look at, that you apply meaning or apply a direction to, is a cord that you're creating in your body. Okay, so right now I could be looking at you, and then I could see this a little pen here without a cap, and I could say, oh, that pen's going to go bad right now at the same time of having this conversation. So my energy right now is connecting to this object, and my life force is being drained from there. So wherever your attention goes, that's where energy goes. We know that. We know that really well. So at night, it's important to do energetic hygiene, okay? We want to work with our energy, call back our life force from all of these locations, people, places, things, activities, and thoughts that we are cording to energetically, and bring back our life force. The way that our energy is going to look, it's like pure gold energy that returns to the body. When I first started doing this work, I was kind of concerned because I thought that energy would be polluted with someone else's energy, or am I taking someone else's energy? But no, we are in a field. Remember, the morphogenetic field is the intelligent organization of energy that connects us to everything. So we are one, simply put. The way that we do these healings and this work is by that deep understanding. You're never separate from anything, but you are in charge with how your energy is being directed. That's where you master yourself. So you're going to imagine the energy, visualize it. Imagination is creation. You're going to visualize that, bringing it back as gold energy back into the core of your body. And the more you practice this, the more you're going to be able to identify which one of the chakras is connecting to what. That's amazing information for you, because it helps you understand the kind of belief systems you have behind that attachment. If you got a lot of cords in your root chakra, it's survival, okay? These are all things that we're connecting to in order to assess whether we are going to survive. Are we going to make it through this interaction? Are we going to live? Or do we need to make sure we're safe? So those of you that are in states of fear right now, you got a lot of cords going into those lower chakras, okay? So we want to make sure we connect with that. When we have broken hearts, when we have disconnected relationships, things like that, you got a lot coming from the heart, from the back of the heart, from the throat, inabilities to speak your truth in your communities, unable to speak openly. Those are all in the heart. And every time that you stop yourself from speaking your truth, you create a cord. Okay, so these are just some examples for you, but I want you to own your space. I want you to call back your life force every night. I want you to align your chakras. Remember that the strongest protection is a super nice spinning vortex. Okay, the reason why we're attracting heavy nightmares and dreams, well, there's a couple reasons. First of all, I know you personally, so I know that you travel in these dimensions and you're very proactive in those dimensions. So what are the messages there? What's the work that you need to carry out there? This is what I would observe in meditation when you wake up. Meditate on your dreams, guys. It's very important to meditate on dreams, because in dreams is a lot of information. And some of it might seem like abstract metaphors, but when you sit with it, you'll be able to uncover a lot of interesting information for yourself. Okay, what you need to do, where, things that are happening. So yeah, so what we want to do in training our lucid dreaming is that as we wake up consciousness, we become more aware in our dream state, and we begin to kind of direct how we're experiencing these dreams, what's happening in them. And you can transmute. Remember, transmutation. We transmute the low emotions into the high emotions, and we do this in dream time as well. How? By, as soon as you become aware that you're in the dream state, you begin to embody and move your vortex, come into a state of love, acceptance as all things as a part of you rather than separation. That's really important. So also the time of the night that you're waking up, here's one last thing before we move to the next question I want to share with you. The time of the night that you wake up is also telling you what part of your organs needs support and healing. Okay, so different hours of the night, our organs are regenerating depending on what hemisphere you're on. Just check your own time zone. It's organized in that way. And why it's organized in that way, because if you wake up at 5 a.m, a certain part of your organ might be waking you up because it's filtering a lot of toxins that you're eating through the day. So I want you to be also checking that, okay? And I'm going to bring up that chart in just a moment for you to see the hours of the digestion. So you can, let me just look that up for us real quick. I have this file here. Let me just find it. So yeah, so there's oh, here it is. Yeah, here we got it. Yeah, so we have like a very our bodies, when we connect with nature, it's incredible how we can actually learn how to heal this body and to regulate it into its highest optimum function. Okay, health is the basic. Okay, we should all be healthy. Illness is the not natural. Okay, not being healthy is not natural. So we want to try to bring ourselves into a state of healing and wellness as much as we can. Let me bring this over here so I can see what I'm doing. Go ahead and take a look at that. I think I posted this on my Instagram a couple of weeks ago because I was talking about this and people having difficulty sleeping as well. So the time of the night that you're waking up here, whatever time that is, I think she said, Angela, I think you said 5 p.m., but I think you may have meant 5 a.m. I'm not sure. Go ahead and put it in chat. But between 5 a.m., it's the lung and the large intestine. This is the metal. Okay, so this is where we want to start looking at where we are, is our lungs, are we getting some nice clean breath, air? Are we circulating oxygen in the body? Is our large intestine, not clear? Do we need to do a detox? Do we need to clear out? And also take a look at this. In the lung, it's dreams and memory. Okay, so this is amazing. So you're waking up with powerful dreams that are being detoxed from the body. So I really want you to pay attention to those dreams that you call nightmare. What's happening there? There's some information for you. Something is being cleared from the ethers. And for you, I would suggest looking at your 11th dimensional body. Okay, remember that every layer of the body allows us some information, and it allows us to understand what we are what we're doing in our journey and how we can support ourselves. Okay. Thank you for touching the topic of ADHD. I'm now realizing I probably had this all my life, my 52 years of living. It's come up even more these weeks, sometimes ties into the question above, anxious, correct. Yes, it's becoming a lot this week for me and my clients as well. So I think that this is something that we need to address. We need to link a lot of these things that we call psychological disorders, there is a deep somatic reason for it, but also they're tooled. People that are from the autistic spectrum, people that have these kinds of abilities are actually highly, highly active humans that are next generation vibrational frequency. They are constantly moving in and out of higher dimensional planes. So they just need to learn how to navigate these dimensional planes in a way that they can integrate into their everyday lives. We just tend to look at things like, oh, that's not normal, that's not okay. And so people feel they contract their energy and it causes more harm. So that level of awareness really needs to come into play. Mama Ren, thank you so much. Angie, thank you so much for that super chat. Love you guys so much for that. I appreciate your support. Let me go to some more questions here. Celeste Rose, so great to see you. Hello from Tucson. I met you last night. I'm Caitlin. Yeah, so I was in Tucson this weekend. We had an amazing lecture on ascension and interdimensional contact. So that was a really, really fun lecture to do. John says, made it to YouTube Live. Thank you so much. Kira. Oh, we have lots of questions here. Okay, Kia Ora, dear Geraldine. Hello from New Zealand. I have been doing these meditations for over a year now, and my life has changed tremendously. Yay. That's Laura. I take full responsibility for my emotions. That's amazing. Where was the question, Laura, darling? So I'm feeling really low this year. I think I'm picking up on the sorrow in the world at the moment as pain pours through my being and my body on a mass level. Okay. So that's something I want to address today, because I also am picking up on this collective heaviness. And a lot of you that are empathic and that are intuitive, what happens when there's global issues that trigger sorrow and, major. Listen, every time this organism loses major amounts of life, okay, life force leaves the organism, every human is going to feel it. And those of you that are more sensitive, you will feel it in your field. It will feel like a loss. It will feel like sadness, feel like sorrow. And you're going to subconsciously correlate it to your life and the things that are happening. But this is actually something collective that we tune into. So what we're going to do today in the meditation is we're going to be providing some healing and regeneration for the earth and for the collective human organism. Okay. Everything is creating balance. So everything that leaves is also being restored into create balance. Always understand everything is divine order. Even tremendous accidents and things like the earthquake, for example. Okay. So many lives left. And those are in agreement to experience that, not only for the people that left, but for the people in that community. There's major lessons that will help move ascension for this community, okay? And for us globally, we need to train. I told you, this year is going to be a lot. We need to come into that neutral state, practice being in a state of neutrality observation so we can anchor source to create healing and help create timelines of healing for the collective as well. It doesn't mean we're going to stop learning the lessons. It means we're going to learn them in a more compassionate way with less suffering. Okay. So we will work with that. Is it possible to receive these documents? Yes. Liza, I had a dream recently that I was disturbing, where I was regurgitating my internal organs. They were coming out whole. I could feel the life slipping from my body, and all the while kept trying to call for help on the phone, but of course I couldn't dial the number. That's a very interesting dream, and I would take a look at, so the internal organs, essentially every single organ has a meaning. So if it was your digestive tract and system that was kind of coming out of the body, taking a look at our relationship with, hold on, give me 1 second. Let me get this. I want to show you, because you guys know this.
It was, can you hear me, Geraldine?
Yeah, I can. Go ahead. Go
It
ahead.
was first my liver, then like my spleen and gallbladder. They were like coming out whole, and I kept trying to hold them in, and I could feel them coming up. And then I could also feel where I started to kind of lose control of my bodily fluids, like, when your body is dying. And it was the most disturbing dream, but I do find that I get up between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning a lot. So your chart makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, let's look at that. So yeah, 3, 4 in the morning. A lot of people are waking up at 3, 4 in the morning right now. Okay, they're getting a lot of it's a moment for downloads. But take a look at small intestines, sort and absorbing food. So this is where the food is being absorbed. So anytime, oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at 2 p.m. here. Let's take a look at this. Liver. Oh, liver and gallbladder. Okay, so this is when we enter deep sleep, detoxing of the blood, rest, recovery, and planning. Sleep release, bile, cellular repair, builds blood cells. Yeah, so this is like the primordial organs coming in for a major detox in the body. And so something to be mindful of the time that you're waking up. But remember that the organs store emotions. So take a look at these charts, looking at the emotional course of each one of these. You know, it looks like you're going through a major emotional detox as well. So again, when we have dreams like this, they might seem kind of gory and weird and we might feel afraid, but actually the body is speaking to us. So I wouldn't be so afraid.
I wasn't, after I spoke to I had to sit with it for like a day or two to really try to understand. And because I've been doing so much work with you really over like the last 3 years.
Yeah.
My friend was telling me, she says, I think, she says, it's just the process of elimination that you're going through, spiritually. You're doing all this work, all this ancestral, or clearing out your body. So she says it's just things coming to surface that you have to deal with.
Right.
Yeah. Unfinished business.
That's right. That's exactly right. Excellent. Beautiful work. I love it. The charts we're looking at, I keep missing. Is it possible for you to walk us through the fire, water, wood, metal, earth sections, if it's relevant to others? Yeah. So remember, the main organs in the body are, remember you have a chakra system with your endocrine connections, but all of these communicate with the main organs of the body, which are super important for processing emotional data, energy, information that we are interacting with our environment. So every single one of these organs is connected with an element, okay? And when they are functioning together in this homeostasis. Oh, my battery's running. Like, hold on, guys. I need to put that in before I lose you. Okay, thank you so much. So, so every single one of these works together. Okay, and the way that these five elements work, as you know, if some of you are familiar, wood gives life to fire, right? Fire then goes into the earth. Then earth melts and wields metal, and metal turns into water. It creates vapor. It creates vapor, right? So when it's wielded, it creates this vapor. Okay, and then again, water nourishes the wood, and all of these have special ways of interconnecting with one another. Okay, so there are ways that organs, when one goes out of balance, this cycle of movement, you see how it creates this pentagram image. The movement of how the energy is moving through these organs creates a balance, and the natural rotation and function of these organs creates a system of energy. It creates a vortex that is the integration of your mid dantian and the lower dantian. So when these are moving and working in a really nice, healed and fluid way, we create heat and energy in the body. And it becomes an empowerment, a powerhouse of energy and empowerment for your body. So both emotionally, physically, and in the organs, the way that we're digesting and utilizing information. So that's why it's really important to understand how your body functions, because this is going to come up a lot in your meditations and things that you're doing. Okay, so just paying attention to that. Shane, hello, Geraldine. I didn't make it to Arizona online. I had trouble with my phone. Oh, that's okay. I'm glad you're here, John. We actually didn't have it live streamed. It was just in-person events. Maribon says, I have noticed I use food to comfort when I'm not feeling love for myself. I have become aware of it, so I'm taking care of myself. Exactly, Maribon. That's exactly what I was saying earlier, that we come into when we don't love ourselves, or when we feel empty or not nourished enough, we crave things to give us the love that we are not giving ourselves. Celeste says, what does it mean to have an ex come across your thoughts frequently who you don't want to be with this person anymore and don't miss? The thought of them still comes up though. Okay, two things with relationships, especially romantic relationships. And this is great because Valentine's Day is this week. We create energetic cords that are stronger than most cords with others, because when we unite in intercourse, our entire field merges with the other field. We exchange DNA through kissing and obviously through intercourse. But when you're doing that, when you exchange DNA, you're exchanging micro nano universes of information. Okay. So you are inside them, they are inside you. So that creates a bond organically and multidimensionally. And this is also the same with fathers and mothers and their children. Okay, we have an incredible bioelectric connection. So what happens in these relationships, especially with people that we're in relationship with, that there are bonds that can be built through this bioelectric morphogenetic field. So if that person thinks about you, they might come into your space. If you think about them, you might come into their thoughts. So be aware. This is also another level of awareness and mastery of your thought process. Okay, where are your thoughts? If you no longer want to interact and engage energetically with that person, are your thoughts subconsciously going there? And if so, why? Have there been unresolved emotions, unresolved expectations, feelings, exchanges with that person? Get clear, support yourself, guys. Remember that we are our most powerful healers and support. So if we can begin to understand, what's bringing up these thoughts, either in yourself subconsciously, then you can address them. Now, if it's the other person that's thinking of you and you're feeling that, also you can create energetic boundaries, and we can neutralize the cords that we've created with them. After every partnership ends, I always advise you to do sexual energy clearing in the body. That means that you're working with the sexual organs. Even if you didn't sleep, like have intercourse with the person, energetically, our fields merge, okay? And we do it also in dream time. So I just want you to be aware of how you merged what you took on and what the other person's taking, to become aware and own your space, okay? So in a meditation, go ahead and clear. The idea is to neutralize any debris, bioelectrical debris that we store in the cellular level of our body, neutralize that, making sure that any kind of toxic patterns or traumas that we took on from them, we are clearing from the body, because that's more likely why it's coming up. Also pay attention to the patterns that are happening in your life right now, what's being triggered. Okay, so that's something that I would answer. Just wondering, last time I did a meditation, my whole body was vibrating intensely. Near the end, it lasted for 20 minutes. What does that mean? Okay, One Love. So vibrating in the body means a lot of things, but one thing I know it means for sure is that sometimes we're not grounding fully. Okay, when we do these meditations that I do with you guys, they're very powerful. And because we're not just using imagination, visualizing things, we are working with our multidimensional body. So of course, things are going to change in our life. We're going to change the way that we live, the way that our body feels, lots of things. So you need to work really proactively with this, but there always has to be integration. Let's bring up the PowerPoint, because I want to share with you something about integration and the energy body, because there's something that we need to understand about this. A lot of people tell me they have this sense of not having full integration. And that's because integration means that we are merging the upper fields of the body with the lower. So let me go ahead and show you what that looks like really quickly, okay? So over here, we're taking a look at this here. Remember how the shape of the body works. It is the upper vortex and the lower vortex that creates the vesica Pisces internally, that integration of yourself. Okay, and we want to create this integration anytime that we're not aware of our chakra system. Let's say you're meditating and you forgot to reopen your first 3 chakras. A lot of you will have sustained vibrational frequency and shaking because there's a lack of integration. You are anchoring too much up here, but your perineum is stagnant, for example. So remember that when you're doing energy techniques like we're learning here together, you always have to be mindful that you're connected to the center core of the planet. Okay, you have to be mindful that you are, I wonder why it looks like that. Let's see. You have to be mindful that you are anchoring into the body. Okay, so because a lot of you're so up here, you're on the top of the body up here, you're intuitive, you love navigating out of the body, but you forget to anchor that into the physical here. You forget to anchor it. So this is why sometimes there will be severe shaking in the body, because the poor body needs to be able to anchor that. Okay, so make sure that your perineum, that you're clearing the perineum with the vortex of life force. Make sure that the root, sacral, and solar, the entire cellular structure of your body is readjusting to a new vibrational frequency. This entire field, every layer of your body is also readjusting. So that's why the body vibrates like that. Okay, so try that. I want to invite you to try that next time and see how that works. Mark Hudson says, wow, with so much in our lives, lies, fears, drama, how do we stay focused and in 0 point if we don't have a path or higher purpose to aim for? Well, I would wonder, here's the thing. I mean, we exist in this multidimensional experience, but remember that a purpose, humans have one purpose first, okay? And that is that as they incarnate into this physical experience, that they are able to alchemize the experience from the lowest to the highest, if they want to. This is the choice. You can also experience suffering all your life. That can be part of your journey and your experience. If you want to alchemize your experience and experience something different, those of you that had incredibly traumatic childhoods, those of you that had very difficult lives, your mission is kind of already, your potential opportunity is already laid out for you, because it's all of that severe energy contrast that allows you to create that transistor of energy through the body. Okay, we create fusion. This creates this incredible energy that we can rise up. And it's the suffering that allows us that gives us the opportunity to do that. Okay, so we need to, it's funny, but become grateful for these incredible challenges that we have in our life in a way. Okay, and I know some of you hear that and you're like, what do you mean be grateful? I'm going through such a hard time and I feel so alone, so disconnected. But here's the thing. You are encoded in your DNA at your cellular level to be able to transcend what you're experiencing. What you're experiencing is like this tiny little dot in comparison to everything that you have experienced in your life, in many lives that you're experiencing simultaneously. So you have the tools, okay? Simply put, if we come into neutrality, imagine you experience someone say something mean to you, something horrible to you, do something unfair to you, very unjust. Okay, so your poor body goes into the shock. It begins to feel those emotions of disconnect. and it creates these chemicals. These chemicals cause stress, inflammation. Your immune system goes down. Your whole energy field starts to contract. That's a lot happening to your organism. Please wake up consciousness and remember this. Okay, be mindful of the cause and effect of your expression. Every thought creates an effect in the multidimensional field. And this contractive energy, oftentimes people feel overwhelmed and lost. The other person that's affecting you with this, they're already in contracted energy. They're in profound survival, fear, anger. Okay? So this other person that's doing this is in the same vibrational frequency that you're coming down to. Why? You're coming in resonance to them. So my advice is that if you continue to hold your space, be very mindful of your emotions, only apply emotions to what is needed for information. Be aware of the triggers, get the information you need, and once you get it, come back to neutrality. Okay? And this is the new human. The new human is going to look kind of weird because in the old human is very reactory. It's very animated. Remember, we watch TV and we watch all these examples of humans having strong facial responses, reactions to things, right? So that's a lot of depletion of life force. Okay? And it doesn't mean that you're not being natural and authentic. The human that embodies the neutral point becomes more authentic. It comes back to that childlike state of exploration. It comes back to that innocence, actually. So this is what you're going to come back to, because when we're innocent, we don't really see the harm in what people are doing. So we don't take it personal. We just see it and we're like, we haven't quite understood because of that experience, But in our case, we completely understand. We see beyond the reactions and the cause of effect of suffering of other people. And therefore, we're wise enough not to respond and to go back to that level. So we return to a really empowered state of innocence and empowerment through that way. So this is kind of an invitation to come into a state of neutrality, because what happens to the body is that you begin to spin really fast and you become a manifester and a co-creator, and you begin to attract people, places, things that are in alignment with you. And over time, these kinds of triggers will no longer trigger you. How do you know you're healed? That you're no longer being triggered by the things that you were triggered before. You see them, you know them, you see it before they're even coming, because you already see people for what they are. A lot of us, we have people in our lives that are abusive, that are mean, that do things to us. And, we want to blind our own selves to what we're seeing. We want to kind of hide. We want to resist it. We want to reject it. We want to stay away. And when we think of protection, we actually go into ignorance, because in protection, we blind ourselves from seeing what's really happening. That these people might be abusive, but there's also another side of that coin, right? Another side of that coin. They are a product of abuse. And if you know that, then you're going to catch on really quickly to how and why they behave the way they do before they even do it. Okay. I remember in my highest states of awareness, I knew minutes before the person would do or say something. That's how, when you're in the present moment, this is how you can, it's like time traveling almost, but you know what is happening before it happens. It's like another level of being a human. You're so in the present moment that you know what's happening and what's going to occur, because you have learned yourself so deeply, and those around you begin to see. Mary Ellen, every night I intend to remember my dreams and I hardly remember them, but years ago I was able. Is it from the encephalitis? Any ideas? Yes, but also yes, it can affect this memory, but remember that our multidimensional body is super active beyond the physical. So this illness is from the physical, okay, from the physical body. We have the ability to access the morphogenetic field, which is much larger than the physical aspect of yourself, okay? So learn the language. There's something more, because encephalitis affects the brain and a lot of processes of the functions of the body. But those are not the only organs that access interdimensional information. Okay, we can hear things, we can see things, we can sense things, we can taste them, we can feel them. We got 6 senses. And all of those are going to help us translate information, non-physical information. When we leave the body, we utilize those senses to make sense of everything that we've picked up in this interdimensional realm. So I want you to train your senses to begin to activate higher faculties of all these senses. Every sense that we have has a higher faculty. Okay, the clairs, right? Your hearing, your clairaudient, clairsentient, all of these clairs are higher octaves of your own physical functions. So we want to activate them and train them. Patricia says, these days I'm having lucid dreams where I see myself living in other dimensions. I have visions where I see how the earth has died already, wondering how I can protect my astral body. So if we are seeing this, remember, when you're traveling out of body, you're seeing simultaneous timelines that exist in the now. Okay, so and there's all kinds of Hi, can you guys hear me? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. My computer crashed. I don't know how or why. Are we still live? I don't even have the live stream. Please give me a moment to figure out what we're doing here because this has
You
never
you are still live.
really. Like,
Yes.
I don't know how that happened. How is that possible, guys? Wow, some amazing energy has got us connected. Someone says aliens. Yes, I think so. Okay, thank you guys for your patience. All right, we're back. So, guys, let's do our meditation. Now that we're here, maybe that was a perfect cue. Okay. All right, my loves, let's start. We're gonna get really nice and comfortable, and we're gonna start by inhaling deeply and exhaling. With every breath you take, as you begin to connect with your body, we're going to help ourselves go down to the center of the earth, anchoring yourself. Okay, go ahead and visualize a grounding cord connecting you down to the center of the earth. Breathing. Okay, and I really want you to heighten your sensitivity right now. As you connect to your sensitivity, begin to connect with how the earth feels. I want you to tune into the earth. Take a moment, come into such deep stillness. As you're in this stillness, I want you to listen for a moment to Mother Earth, to this extension of ourselves. And I just want you to tune in to what's being said here. Things that have occurred over the past week, past months. There's something occurring here in humanity. Just tune in. Okay, and as you connect to that, we're going to go deeper. I want you to begin to observe now your multidimensional body. Go ahead and connect to the first layer of your body, your first chakra. I want you to repair that first layer. Remember that the chakras are an entire field of your body. So let's tune in and read this first chakra. Are there tears? Do we have lots of cords? Okay, we're going to go ahead and do some nice maintenance, checking into any cords in the root chakra. And you're going to inhale deeply, calling back your life force. People, places, and things no longer in alignment in the first dimensional layer. Completely sealing and healing the first layer of your body. I want you to feel it 360 all around you. Use your entire body to feel the first layer. And I want you to shrink it closer to your body. Shrink that first layer closer to the body. Excellent work. So just sit for a moment. I want you to memorize what this feels like. I want you to observe what shifts in your thoughts, in your body, as the first layer of the body comes closer to you. Very good. Breathing down to the base of the spine, nice and deep breaths here, waking up the body, waking up the cells, bringing ourselves into conscious awareness. Let's go up to the second layer of the body now. Where's it at? Is it totally wide open? Is it all the way to the left, all the way to the right, the front, the back? Go ahead, check into the quality of your second layer. Is it full of openings, connecting to relationships, people, friends, lovers, places that we've attached to? Calling back our life force into the body like golden light, feeling more regenerated. Healing that second layer of the body. And we're going to bring it closer now, closer to the body. Shrink it down all around you. That nice healed second layer of your body now comes closer. Excellent work, guys. Being mindful of the back of your body. Okay, let's go into the third layer, my loves. Third layer of your body. Check in. Notice how expanded or contracted it is. And we're going to take a look at the health of this third layer of the body. Go ahead and heal it completely, making sure there are no tears, no holes. You're going to call back your life force into the body. People, places, and things. Neutralizing. Owning your space. Very good. Feeling more solid now, feeling more whole. You are cultivating your lower dantian at this moment. Okay, so go ahead and go up into your heart chakra. We're going to expand that field, and I want you to repair the fourth layer of your body. Go ahead and see it expanding big all around you. Bigger than this room, bigger than this house, or wherever you are. 10 feet all around you. No holes, no openings, no tears. 360 above, below. This entire fourth layer of your body is healthy, thriving, vibrant. Go ahead and call back your life force anywhere that we are depleting. Excellent. Let's go into the throat chakra. Go ahead and expand that throat chakra. The fifth layer of your body, making sure it's completely repaired all around you. 360 degrees, no tears, no openings. Inhale your life force back into your body and release what doesn't serve you. Making sure it's nice and healthy, vibrant. These layers of your body are connected to subconscious belief systems. So when you reinforce your field, you are also readjusting belief systems in a way that creates health, balance, balanced thought in your body. So remember, you're working with many dimensions of your body: emotional, physical, mental. Okay, let's go into the sixth layer of your body now, your third eye. Go ahead and visualize expanding that third eye nice and wide. The vortex of the body expands in the third eye, and the entire sixth layer of your body expands. Make sure that there are no holes. Beautiful. Excellent work, guys. You begin to feel more grounded in your body. So let's go ahead and anchor this. I want you to anchor down to the center of the earth. Okay. We're going to begin to activate the source cord through the body. So begin to go up to your seventh and your eighth chakra, activating the seventh. Activating the eighth. And you're going to begin to use your intuition now that you're in reading state to identify the color of your highest vibrational frequency. Go ahead and put it up into the eighth chakra. That's the entire eighth layer of your body. So when you're doing this, the entire layer, the eighth layer of your body turns to the color of your highest expression. It creates the most powerful filter of perception that allows you to see truth and the highest potential alignment with nature, your highest expression, activating your DNA at the cellular level. So go ahead and take that eighth color down into the seventh chakra. And remember that seventh chakra refracts. So we're going to take this seventh layer, seventh field of your body, expanding it really big all around you, filling it in with this color. Into the area of career. This week, let's make this career in alignment with our highest expression, our projects. If we want to change careers, those opportunities will come to us. If we want to do better at our career, that will open up to us. To relationships, healing relationships, allowing them to come into their highest expression, letting the ones that we don't need to gently, lovingly dissolve, neutralize. In our abundance, our exchange with this universe, may it be as abundant as our white life force through our body. It just flows. It comes into our life powerfully, without guilt, without shame, openly receiving and openly giving. Going into the area of health, speaking to every cell in this body, activating health, wellness, strengthening the center core of this organism and every layer of our multidimensional body. our creative energy, sexual energy, our ability to co-create in this realm, making sure that it's in alignment with our highest truth, the laws of nature, in order to create balance, harmony, healing. And finally, your purpose. What are you here to do? Fill that in, allowing yourself to align with the clarity, moving out of stuck situations, stagnation, any time where we can't move forward, expanding contraction. Go ahead and see that. So your seventh layer of your body is we just basically inserted a program that allows us to navigate the matrix from our highest self at all times. Okay, so the seventh layer of your body now becomes the filter of your reality. Okay, let's go deeper. Now that we're here, we're going to begin to anchor healing for ourselves and the earth. So we're going to go up to the ninth. I want you to activate the ninth layer of your body as we begin to connect to the DNA of the earth, taking a look at timelines, collective timelines of healing, of destruction, of life, death, balance. Connect to that in the ninth dimensional plane. The ninth layer of your body merges you with the earth. So you get to tune into the information of the earth, both the creative, loving, and also the destruction of the earth. So this is a great way for you to understand how you can provide your light to the healing of the collective. Okay. And we're going to anchor all of this as we begin to pull white source light down from all the chakras down to the center crown of the ninth, the eighth, the seventh, sixth, fifth, linking all these bodies, fourth, third, second, and first, and into the center core of the planet. Go ahead and anchor yourself into the center of the earth. Feel yourself more grounded in the body. Okay, so we're going to start running energy. I want you to pull from the center of the earth a powerful wave of green life force from the core of the planet, this beautiful earth life force into the body, creating a vortex of energy. Go ahead and visualize that vortex spinning all around you, activating the lower vortex of your body, the lower vortex of your Merkaba, essentially. Begin to spin as it begins to move any kind of stagnation out. From source, go ahead and bring down powerful wave of cosmic energy, gold energy that comes down to the crown of the head, combining with that earth energy, rotating all around you. Picking up debris from the 13-dimensional layers of the body. Okay, go ahead and send. You have two ways of clearing the body. You can send it down to the center of the earth. Go ahead and send it down. The earth functions like a recycling mechanism, transforming death into life. Breathing, breathing down to the base of the spine. When we breathe, we move energy. We allow energy to move through us. If you're holding your breath and you have shallow breaths, it's going to be very hard for you to anchor source through your body. It's going to be hard for you to run energy through the body. Remember that the breath and also the amount of water that we have in our body, whether we're hydrated or not, both are conduits of life force. And when we don't have enough of that, we can't move our vortex. Okay, so let's go ahead and take 80% of this and send it up the spine now through the crown of the head, creating a fountain of energy, creating a sphere around our sphere. Neutralizing our connection to the matrix. deeper layers of entanglement, of unconscious entanglement now begin to neutralize. We create suffering in this world by living in states of suffering, because the world responds to our state of consciousness. So let's clear out from our own organism, because we love humanity, because we care about people that are suffering. Let's clear out the fear, the anger, the resentment, the frustration that lies within the cells of our body in order to help this global shift into a healthy state. Okay, go back to the center core. We're going to take the final 10% of green and gold energy, and we're going to absorb it into our beautiful physical body now. Absorb it into the pores of your body, into the flesh, the muscles, the bones, down to the cellular level of your body now. Nourishing you. Such a beautiful, important, perfect organism that you are. Such an important piece to this whole. I want you to infuse your body with acceptance, with love, with support, with your authentic truth, your expansion. Every cell of the body feels seen, heard, acknowledged, loved. And watch your body resistance, because sometimes when we go through a lot of stress and trauma, our body wants to resist this part. It doesn't feel so familiar. So just whatever weird sensations you have in the body, if it's contracting, immediately release. Bring yourself release after release after release into a neutral state. Don't apply meaning to anything. Come into neutrality. Notice what the body feels like without any emotion. I want you to sit in this state of no emotion, just observation. It's like profound resting for the body. So now that we're here, we're going to create a field of coherence with all of the brothers and sisters that are with us online. I want you to tune into your heart center. And I want you to connect to that network that connects you from the 4th layer of your body to the 9th layer of your body. And as we begin to connect into those layers of the body, we come into coherence. No need for any emotion. Allow your body almost as if it's floating in this space. Almost as if the physical body begins to dissolve and all that's left is an observer. So all of us together coming into this state of observation are creating a powerful network of coherence right now, all around the world. You guys are all around the world that are tuning into my channel. So each one of you play an incredibly important role in your part of the world. So I want you to anchor now. As we begin to visualize one another in these different parts of the world, like little lights on the planet Earth, it's almost like we're going to open a faucet of life force that will move through our bodies and anchor healing into this planet Earth. So I want you all to begin to open your higher octave energy fields in the 10th, the 11th, the 12th chakra layers. the 13th chakra layer. Activate that 13th. Activate the 14th. Activate the 15th. The 16th. Activate the 17th. The stronger and the more activated our field is, the more we can anchor white light through this little physical body. We're going to go to the 19th. Remember, you're expanding an entire field of your body. The 20th, expand that layer of your body. The 21st, the 22nd. Okay. So now that you're here, I want you to anchor white light down to the body, into the earth. And as it goes into the earth, the center core of the earth also works like a toroidal system. The earth is going to begin to run energy through us now. We're going to align with the planet Earth. We're going to, through this network, connect to the parts of the world that are having stagnant energy. So all of you that are here are very psychic. I want you to take a look at the globe of the planet, and you're going to just remote view that Earth. And you're going to identify points of darker energy. It can be dark energy or red energy on top of the Earth, where there is suffering, fear, pain. And it's just going to flush through the toroidal field of the Earth, through our 9th, through 22nd dimensional layer. It begins to alchemize. I want you to bring your body into a state of love, really profound love right now, coming from the heart center. In that stillness, from that stillness emerges this love. This is unconditional love. It is not based in the ego. It is compassion, truth, fearless acceptance. It's non-judgment. So as you observe these little red spots or dark spots on the earth, we're not going to judge what we see or what we feel. We're just going to clear it out. Bring white light to these spaces. And each one of you is going to have a different vision of the earth, because you are cleaning your field simultaneously. You think you're looking at the suffering of other people, but you're actually looking at your suffering projected in the earth. This is how you will be able to see it. So remember, there is nothing separate, nothing can harm you, because you are the whole. So as you bring that white light filtering from our planet Earth grid expression hologram of ourselves, let's go to the parts of the earth that are suffering more. And as you tune into those emotions in those points of energy, your body will feel and tune into those emotions. I want you to bring yourself into neutrality, almost as if you're flushing out debris, emotional debris from your body. If you feel anger, that anger is going to quickly move through, come back into neutrality. Use the golden light that moves through your body to anchor and flush out of your body the emotion. Don't allow anything to stick longer than it needs to. If you feel it's hard to flush the emotional energy through the body, it's because you're judging what you're seeing or what you're feeling. So again, neutrality. Our focus here is to be of service, to wake up the cells in our fellow humans to recognize their own light. That's what we're doing here. We're not healers. We're not imposing our will on anything. We are waking up ourselves through our other cells of our own body, anchoring white light into the collective. We just gently remind ourselves that suffering is a choice. Prolonged suffering is a choice. Okay, going into heavy areas of the world that are experiencing suffering. For example, Turkey, Ukraine, Africa, South America, Europe. And some of you, because of your ancestral lineage, you will be aware of other parts of the world, because again, you're looking at your own hologram. So just calmly take yourself to those parts and just do the work that you're being called to do. When you heal yourself, you heal the collective. So search in you for all the parts of you that want destruction, that want separation, that want fear, that still embody anger, and show them something different. You're going to feel massive waves of life force moving through you. The more still you become, the easier it'll be for you to anchor more light through your body. Come into love. If you are in any kind of resistance or fear, it might cause discomfort in the body. So if you want to reverse it, just gently release your tension in your body. Flush out all this fear from this earth, anger, resentment. All this fear from your body, all this anger from your body. Flush it out. Allow yourself to breathe deeply into the new open space that you're creating in your field. Okay, I want you to open the chakra in between the heart and the solar plexus now. This is the chakra of unconditional love. It is the interconnection between the upper and the lower dantian. As we open it, we begin to integrate this life force within our body. And I want you to come into a state of absolute gratitude for yourself. I want you to feel gratitude. Acceptance for yourself. I want you to sit for a moment in gratitude. Let your organs feel that gratitude, every one of your organs in your body. The liver, the stomach, the spleen, the heart, the lungs, the intestines. Begin to feel gratitude. Continue to let all the tense muscles that want to contract release. Okay, go into your fields now. Fill your body with love. I want you to sit for a moment, presencing love. Love towards yourself. I want you to sit for a moment now, feeling acceptance for yourself. Deep acceptance for yourself. Parts of the body that want to resist that are the parts that need it the most. You'll see your holographic body. The parts that feel difficult to visualize when you're filling your body with this emotion are the ones that need it the most. They are dormant and they are abandoned and they are foreign to this emotion. So remind that part of your body of this emotion. I want you to fill yourself with forgiveness. Forgive yourself. Everything that you are, everything that you aren't. Forgive yourself for expectations. Forgive yourself for hurting yourself, your body, your mind, for polluting this organism in any way, for abandoning yourself. Forgive yourself for abandoning. Forgive yourself for abandoning. For rejecting yourself. Forgive yourself for rejecting. Forgive yourself for judging yourself. Forgive yourself for judging. This is where you notice how much harm judgment causes your body. The judgment you put towards your body and the judgment you put towards others both harm you. You'll notice organs in your body adjusting. Some of you might even burp. These bodily expressions are releasing of tension in the body. Some of you might cry. Some of you might yawn. You might exhale. The body has powerful ways of readjusting emotional information in the body. So just let it do what it needs to do as you come into a deeper expansion. I want you to go to the back of your chest here, back of your heart. And I want you to forgive yourself for feeling unworthy. Parts of you that don't feel worthy, I want you to fill yourself with worth, with self-worthiness. I want you to feel worthy. Feeling worthy of love, respect, health, boundaries, vitality, energy, joy, expression. Many of us don't feel worthy of joy. Fill your body with joy. It's not going to be a forced joy. It's going to be a very subtle, gentle feeling of peace and harmony. I want you to bring white light into the parts of the world now that are continuing to have this suffering. We're going to anchor white light to all of the areas. I want you to, if you are more visual, more physical, you can lift your hands and imagine the earth being in between your hands. You're going to channel this white light into the planet Earth, into our brothers and sisters that are suffering. May it lessen the suffering, the fear. May they remember the illusion. May this experience help accelerate the awakening of consciousness and collective unconditional love for one another. May we choose to learn through compassion instead of suffering. Every part of this earth, every inch of this earth becomes conscious as you wake up every part of your body, and you make that conscious as well. I want you to see a room full of karmic contracts. This room is filled with all the agreements that you have come in through your DNA, through your soul expression to experience in order to embody your highest potential expression. All of these karmic contracts are rooted in fears and by the laws of the lower matrix. So if you are ready to let that go ahead and shine your crown light, 7th and 8th chakra, on top of each one of these contracts, dissolving them. Clear that room. You will immediately begin to feel more light, more expansive. Breathe deeply without forcing. Because you are clearing the DNA, you are neutralizing the information in your hologram. So as you clear that out, I want you to fill that room with your crown chakra color. Setting the intention that we learn our lessons no longer in suffering, but through compassion, love, and consciousness, through free will, sovereignty, and choice. And we're going to sustain this new agreement by being fully in the present moment this entire week. Every moment of our waking state and every moment of our dream state. We now commit to this consciousness, to this awareness. Go ahead and begin to work with your root chakra. As you open that root chakra back into a balanced state, I want you to visualize that vortex, that entire field around your body spinning, raising the frequency of that root chakra to its highest neutral point. And I want you to see a room in front of you with people that we interact with that are lower frequency, that don't always have our best interest, that cause these karmic contracts to come into play. I want you to shine your crown on top of these shadows and just dissolve them in that room. All of those shadows, people that are here to bring us painful lessons, just visualize dissolving them out of our space. All of those shadows out, those people. And you're going to fill this room with your crown chakra. Once again, we are intentionally creating relationships of co-creation from now on. We don't want to repeat patterns embedded in our cyclical trauma. Any resistance you feel in your body, surrender. Parts of the body that want to continue living in suffering, bring them into peace, neutrality again. through the muscles of your body, through your nervous system. You're going to go up to the sacral. Go ahead and open that sacral back into a balanced state. You're going to go up into your solar plexus now, opening that solar plexus back into a balanced state. Feeling nice and strong, the root, the sacral, the solar. I want you to see the three of these energies interlacing as you begin to wake up the energy in the perineum, as it begins to flow evenly through the first three chakras, fluidly, without any blockage. These three first layers of your body, you can gently expand them around you evenly, not too far from your body, 6 inches away from the body, creating understanding, a controlled filter of perception. But we're going to come from the heart. So now the heart field, you're going to keep it open. The throat, keep it open. A lot of you in this call have blockages in the throat. Clear them out. You're going to see an object and just dissolve that object. It represents that blockage. A lot of you have blockages in the back of the heart. Go ahead and clear that out. A lot of you have blockages in the spleen and liver. So go ahead and clear those out from your holographic field. Just imagine white light and you're just going to dissolve it in whatever way is easy for you to imagine. In your third eye, a lot of you are fearful of yourself. You don't trust yourself. I want you to forgive yourself for not trusting yourself. This is one of the biggest blockages that humans have when they're entering into a higher initiation. Go ahead and release that fear of your truth, of seeing yourself in all your shadows and all your dark. That's how you train your intuition. Go ahead and see the fifth layer of your body expanding around you, ready to receive all the intuition information it requires in order to navigate in harmony with the whole. You're going to go up into your eighth, your seventh, and your eighth. Go ahead and see if that eighth color changed. Sending it down to the seventh. Activate into the ninth. Activate into the 10th. The 11th. 12th. 13. 14 layer of your body, expanding it. 15 layer of your body. 16 layer of your body, expanding it, reinforcing it. 17 layer of your body. 18 layer of your body. 19. 20th layer of your body, reinforce it, make it whole. 21st. 22nd. 23rd. 24th layer of your body. So right now you are feeling your real body. This is who you are. You're a massive structure of life force. I want you to view your life from here. Whatever suffering you're going through will look differently from here. You will be able to see truth and you will see clarity. What needs to happen. So as you come back into the room, I want you to open your eyes. With your eyes open, I want you to pull white light from that 24th, 22nd dimensional layer down into the center core of your body and into the center of the earth. With your eyes open, I want you to feel and see with your eyes open as we train the vision Anchor white light through the body. See it creating a pillar of white light down through the brain, down through the pineal gland, down through the throat, down through the heart, down through the center core, the chakra between the heart and the solar plexus. Make sure that's nice and active and expanded. That's the one that's linking full circle, the network of energy through your body. Down through the lower dantian, fill it with this white light, into the perineum. Open that perineum, let that white light come through the body. Down in through the knees, the inners of the feet. These are vortex points, and the centers of the feet. Anchoring into the earth with your eyes open. See it into the center layers of the earth and anchor to the core. And as you see this white light, pillar of white light through you, take a nice deep breath. And again, we're going to maintain this network of coherence with one another in a really profound state of awareness as we hold space for brothers and sisters around the world that are going through challenging times. Very good, my loves. Welcome back. I want to thank you so much. I really, really grateful for you for holding space and for doing this healing today. You guys did amazing work for this earth. And anytime that you want to hold space, when you see something happening around the world, or when you yourself are in a state of suffering, you can use this meditation to bring yourself back into your highest truth, which is the vision from up there, looking down at this experience. Okay, you guys did amazing. I'm going to open the floor for a couple questions that anybody has. Thank you so much for tuning in. So many people in the chat on YouTube. Thank you so much, guys. Love you. Oh, Laura, Jackie, Kira, so great to see you. Darina, Mary Ellen, Siobhan, thank you so much. And thank you so much for the super chats. Marie, thank you so much for that generous super chat. I really appreciate it. I lost the chats from previously. So does anyone have any final questions or anything? Grand Zizer 12 says the best of Geraldine Orozco. Thank you. I'm glad you really liked that. This was so powerful, everyone. I'm so glad you liked it. We own the daytime. Yes, that's right. We do own it. We own the light. We own the light. That should be our motto here. We own the light. We are the light. Darina, thank you. Very strong. My Zoomies, people in my Zoom, how are you? Please tell me, do you have any questions, guys? Anything that came up for you in this session? Yes, Cedric, come right in.
Yes, Geraldine, thank you very much. And what I'd like to do is comment on my experience.
Yeah.
The experience for me was allowing the white light to come in and to examine what was on my heart. And once I was there, what I discovered was something that you had shared with us several weeks ago, and that was the crystallization of a lot of fear, trauma, or whatever it may be.
Right.
And at that point, I was able to recognize it and let that tension go. And that was a wonderful experience. So I appreciate that. And I was able to expand my heart to go all over the world for healing wherever it was needed. So thank you.
So beautiful. Cedric, thank you so much. Amazing work. And I'm so proud of you and excited to hear that you were able to move that. That's amazing. And yeah, and I just want you to observe also how that changes what you desire through the week. You know, it's just no judgment, whatever, just see, just explore it. Thank you. Deidre. Did I say your name right?
It's Daedry.
Daedry. Okay, there you go. Thank you.
Thank you. This was my first time doing this. I've done a couple of the meditations that's on your site.
Mm-hmm.
But doing it in person is quite, it's so much better. I'll just say that.
Okay.
Where I went though was I could see all the blockages within me. And when I brought in the light, it was just like explosions
Mhm.
in the cells, I would say, probably cells. And yet I got a massive headache from that.
Aha, right. I did feel that. I felt some people got headaches. What part of your head hurts?
In the neck area.
Correct. In the lower back here in the neck. Yes. Okay. So, and this is why I said mid meditation, because I felt this. When you're in any little bit of resistance, you're going to have that because you're anchoring massive amounts of energy through the body. And we haven't trained the body yet to be in neutrality at all times. So parts are going to tense up. So in that moment, what we needed to do was release. Usually it's the abdomen muscles that hold that tension. And what happens when we hold tension in the body is that we block the energy moving down the spine, okay? Because the stomach muscles are a part of a really complex nervous system network that connects to the spine. So we anchor source light through the spine, okay? Through the vagus nerve, of course, is one of the main runways of life force through the body. So that's why we need to be super mindful in the meditation to continue always to check in. Okay, make sure, mind the body. Am I completely relaxed? Am I completely open, expansive? You'll see, even myself in the meditation, I notice little parts of me tense up, and then I'm like, remember, and I relax, and now the energy can move through the body. And it just continues. It continues, part contract. So this is just the body healing, okay? Because we're multidimensional and we're anchoring this energy, the body has to readjust. So next time, as soon as you feel the pain, what happens is we feel the pain and then we start to panic because we're like, oh my God, something's wrong or it's not so good. Just go to the pain, relax, expand. Imagine your spinal cord relaxing. Because I started to feel the pain of people that were feeling that, and I started to relax and it went away immediately. So this is my invitation to you, okay?
Okay.
But amazing work. Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? Anything they want to share? Oh, Mark Hudson, thank you for that super chat. Thank you so much, Shoban. Unconditional love, thank you. What was the difference between a thought manifesting and having a premonition and it manifesting? Well, a premonition is something that you see something ahead happening. A thought can be any number of thoughts. It can be a judgment, it can be an emotion, a feeling, it can be a past program. So a premonition is specifically you're tuning into potential future experience and scenario. And a thought can be any timeline. So I guess the difference is a premonition is a specific timeline that you're tuning into, and a thought is creating timelines. It's what happens before the premonition, really. Okay. So so we just want to be mindful of where our emotions are when we have thoughts, because emotions fuel thoughts into manifestation. That's really important to understand that. That can work with us or against us. Okay, remember that. Yeah, let's go over here, Siobhan. How to know if the things I'm being shown about my family members are truth and intuition or distortions or manipulations from the outside or lower self? Awesome question. The best way to train the intuition when we're reading ourselves and reading others is that, here, let me tell you this. When you learn how to read your body, when you begin to notice what part of your chakras are out of balance, you also going to learn how to read other people, okay? Because you know yourself so much, so well, that when you're in neutrality, you sense other people's energy. All of you are empathic here. You all pick up people's energies. But what happens as you train that intuition is it becomes really clear data for you, okay? And as an empath, we have to learn how to master our empathic abilities, not become overwhelmed, drained, and not know what to do with it, but to fine tune it like a laser point focus on what we're doing and how we're interacting with that information. Okay. So when it comes to discerning with family members, first of all, we have to deprogram and understand our belief systems And this is part of the deprogramming work. Okay, you have to understand what are the belief systems and programs that you hold on to that cause you suffering, that you're no longer in alignment with. You got to be aware of that work. This is deep work, takes time, I understand, but do it. Because what that'll do is that when you begin to see things from family members, you're going to know what is in alignment with highest expression, more beyond you, but with the collective nature. That's the truth that we want to align to, not just the ego, not just what's good for us, but we want to know what's true for the collective. So the best way to find that is by deprogramming limiting belief systems of fear, contraction that we have inherited within us that create filters in seeing truth in our families. Okay, because you might be seeing one side of the perspective of a double-sided argument, and then you're only seeing things from here. But boy, there's all kinds of perspectives in this scenario. So you have to expand your light and your field so much that you see them all and understand what's the right for the collective. That's how you become a healer. Okay, and another way in discernment is that when you're discerning and using intuition, make sure that your emotions aren't intuitions that have a lot of emotions are never 100% true. Okay, and because what happens is that emotions can taint the clarity of your vision, and it can be the ego speaking through the emotion. It can be a self-preserving part of the ego, or it could be an ego that's in balance. So the purest form intuition is get ground, close your first 3 chakras. That immediately is going to handle your emotions that are out of balance when you do that, because this is your emotional system down here. So when you close that, you shrink it down, you're limiting the signal waves that are emitting and inputting, outputting into the matrix. So that's your emotional body. So you get that in check first. Expand heart. You want to know truth through coherence. You want to know the highest balance of feminine, masculine to the throat. And you want your intuition through all your clairs and senses. So when you do that, your intuition won't be tainted by emotions. As soon as you start feeling emotion come in to your intuition, go back to neutral, start over. Okay, that's how you train yourself. And this is how I trained myself as well in my early journey for intuition, is mastering that cultivation of 0 point to get to truth. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. Marihad, which side of the world should be the head while sleeping? For each person, it's different, my love, and I suggest you check out the work of Kathleen Zemansky. I know I suggested her to you guys before, but Kathleen Zemansky does something called, it's called Feng Shui, but it's Feng Shui for your life, your multidimensional. It's like an esoteric Feng Shui, and you can utilize her time blazer to enter the time of birth and your date, and it will tell you every year what areas and directions are more productive for your organism. Okay, I've found this to be really nice. Okay, we are the creators of our reality, but some of these tools that are embedded in the laws of the elements really do help our system sometimes. So these are just little tools that you can use if you want to, or you can use your intuition and sleep in different directions in your bed until you find the direction that you have the best sleep. That's also another way to do it. Okay. Great question. What if being authentic elicits a culturally abusive response because the hierarchy of the setting demands conformity? Right. However, the key word here is abusive response, right? So what if being authentic elicits a culturally abusive response because hierarchy is right? So, the new human doesn't look anything like the humans that we've seen before, as I mentioned before, okay? We are creating a new culture, a new ways of interacting with one another. It's grounded, it's authentic, it's being able to make eye contact and hold our space and hold space in a room. And it's compassionate. And from these ways of being, the human expression is going to look different. It will never be abusive because a person that's in alignment with their truth is always mindful of cause and effect laws. When you do something from the ego, it causes suffering to another. That's a fact. And you cause suffering to yourself more than anything. So remember that, because it's only one tiny little perspective of you. You're bigger than that. So we kind of have to come into the true authenticity, not the personality, the one with all the masks. Nope, that's going to take you into worlds of suffering. So come into understanding what is the best for the whole and become that authentic self. Okay, so and we are going beyond conformity. We're breaking those comfort zones. Okay. As I amend the space between the heart and the solar chakra, I started feeling strong heat, and I started sweating. Then as we went further, it evened out. Yes. How many of you feel heat when you're doing these meditation healings with energy? Okay, a lot of you are going to feel heat because the temperature will rise because you're working with energy, and it's another awesome way to prove to yourself what you're doing. Okay. Yeah, so you will really feel that. Thank you for that comment. Thank you, Mark Hudson. Thank you, Mafona, for that super chat. Thank you so much. Teresa Martinez, Cedric, thank you for that super chat. All my love. All right, guys, I love you very much. Let's Pretend says, I had a major heart expansion during the family emergency. I wasn't emotion at all, surprisingly. Yeah, that's another thing. You're going to be surprised with yourself. When you start breaking these patterns, you're going to be like, hey, how come I'm not feeling panicky right now? I really enjoyed that part of the waking process because it was amazing. You're a different kind of being now, So this is really wonderful. It felt very powerful. Instead, I wish I could keep my heart chakra expanded like that. Yes, and do it. Please, guys, keep that heart chakra going so that we can come into this highest expression, full body throbbing. Guys, I love you very much. Have an amazing week. Happy Valentine's Day, which we abide by the higher laws of love, of unconditional love. So we celebrate Valentine's Day every day here. I want to thank you so much for being here with me, for sharing your love with me. It's really means the world. Have an amazing day. I'll see you soon. Thank you for your support. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Geraldine.
Thank you. Thank you, Geraldine.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I am
Blessings.
well.